You think Shakespeare has a monopoly on monologues? Think again.
You talking to me? You talking to me?
Welcome to WatchMojo.com, and today we're counting down our picks for the top 10 movie monologues.
Little man, I give the watch to you.
For this list, we're looking at iconic film speeches that have stood the test of time.
Fourth rule, only two guys to a fight. Fifth rule, one fight at a time, fellas.
These are the moments when characters finally bare their souls,
I don't give a shit.
or at least make one heck of a threat.
Primordial instincts to kill. Without feeling, without passion.
We're not counting voiceovers, so unfortunately, Henry Hill's monologues don't make the cut.
To me, it meant being somebody in a neighborhood that was full of nobodies.
Number 10, Hannibal's analysis, The Silence of the Lambs.
Good morning.
Basically an evil Sherlock Holmes, Hannibal Lecter can size you up with one glance and a whiff of your perfume.
You use Evian skin cream. And sometimes you wear lead at home. But not today.
It's a handy skill when you're a psychopath, but not that fun when you're an insecure rookie trying to outrun your past.
You know how quickly the boys found you, all those tedious, sticky fumblings in the backseats of cars, while you could only dream of getting out, getting anywhere, getting all the way to the FBI.
After FBI trainee Clarice Starling accidentally offends this creepy cannibal, he delivers a spiteful speech that hits all her soft spots.
Do you know what you look like to me with your good bag and your cheap shoes? You look like a rube. A well-scrubbed, hustling rube with a little taste.
When she strikes back, Clarice learns never to interrupt a supervillain when he's monologuing.
A census taker once tried to test me. I ate his liver with some fava beans and a nice Chianti.
Number 9, Greed is Good, Wall Street.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, we're not here to indulge in fantasy, but in political and economic reality.
While the 1980s gave us some awesome movies and horrible fashions, it's probably best remembered as the decade of greed.
You own the company. That's right. You, the stockholder, and you are all being royally screwed over by these bureaucrats with their steak lunches, their hunting and fishing trips, their corporate jets and golden parachutes.
And nobody personifies materialism like Gordon Gekko.
The new law of evolution in corporate America seems to be survival of the unfittest.
This conniving corporate raider makes a living off the buying and selling of others, and thinks scheming and selfishness are virtues.
I am not a destroyer of companies. I am a liberator of them.
Microphone in hand, Gekko sums up his philosophy in this big scene with the chilling assertion that greed is the key to success.
The point is, ladies and gentlemen, that greed, for lack of a better word, is good.
Number 8, A New Day Will Come, The Lord of the Rings, The Two Towers. Wearing evil incarnate around your neck is no easy task. And after falling under the ring's influence and nearly murdering his best friend, it's not hard to see why Frodo Baggins is down in the dumps.
It's me! It's your Sam!
Fortunately, Samwise Gamgee is the kind of hobbit who knows how to give a rousing speech to snap his friend out of his fog.
It's like in the great stories, Mr. Frodo. The ones that really mattered. Full of darkness and danger they were. And sometimes you didn't want to know the end.
As Frodo starts doubting his quest,
What are we holding on to, Sam?
Sam reminds him even though things look dark and grim, there's still something hopeful to hold onto.
That there's some good in this world, Mr. Frodo.
Number 7, The Horror, Apocalypse Now. When he's sent to terminate a rogue colonel, Captain Willard doesn't expect a lecture on ethics.
I've seen horrors. Horrors that you've seen. But you have no right to call me a murderer. You have a right to kill me.
But when he's captured by the ruthless Kurtz, he learns a frightening lesson on the nature of horror.
Horror has a face. And you must make a friend of horror.
In a truly terrifying speech, Kurtz remembers the atrocities he's seen and claims judgment has no place on the battlefield.
We left the camp after we had inoculated the children for polio. And this old man came running after us, and he was crying. He couldn't say. We went back there, and they had come and hacked off every inoculated arm.
Convinced soldiers should check emotions at the door, he tries to persuade Willard that horror is the key to victory.
You have to have men who are moral and at the same time who are able to utilize their primordial instincts to kill without feeling, without passion.
Number 6, the USS Indianapolis, Jaws.
Want to see something permanent? Boom, boom, boom.
Rude, crude, and sporting the craziest sideburns since Wolverine, Captain Quint seems little more than a crusty old kook with a fondness for booze.
You want a drink? Drink to your leg?
I'll drink to your leg.
Okay, so we drink our legs.
Until he recalls the tragedy of his experience on the USS Indianapolis.
Japanese submarine slammed 2 torpedoes into our side, Chief. He was coming back from the island of Tinian to Leyte, just delivered the bomb, the Hiroshima bomb.
With a captivated audience both on and off screen, Quint remembers the time he was surrounded by hungry sharks after helping to deliver parts of the atomic bomb that hit Hiroshima.
You know the thing about a shark, he's got lifeless eyes, black eyes, like a doll's eyes. When he comes at you, he doesn't seem to be living until he bites you, and those black eyes roll over white, and then...
Not only does this monologue ratchet up the tension, it tells us everything we need to know about this grizzled fisherman.
You know, that was the time I was most frightened, waiting for my turn. I'll never put on a life jacket again. So 1,100 men went in the war. 316 men come out. The Sharks took the rest June the 29th, 1945.
Number 5, closing statement to Kill a Mockingbird.
To begin with, this case should never have come to trial. The state has not produced one iota of medical evidence that the crime Tom Robinson is charged with ever took place.
On trial for a crime you didn't commit? Better call Atticus Finch.
I have nothing but pity in my heart for the chief witness for the state.
This Southern attorney might seem soft-spoken, but put him in a courtroom and he's the greatest orator in cinematic history.
And so, a quiet, humble, respectable Negro who has had the unmitigated temerity to feel sorry for a white woman has had to put his word against 2 white peoples.
Defending a black man falsely accused of rape, Atticus delivers an eloquent monologue on the meaning of justice.
In our courts, all men are created equal.
Demanding fair and equal treatment, Atticus makes one last plea for Tom Robinson's innocence, and it's enough to make you get up out of your seat.
In the name of God, do your duty.
I make and I sell soap.
Number 4, Middle Children of History, Fight Club.
And this is how I met
Tyler Durden. Did you know if you mixed equal parts of gasoline and frozen orange juice concentrate, you can make napalm?
Tyler Durden is a man who loves to talk. Whether he's doling out rules,
The first rule of Fight Club is, you do not talk about Fight Club.
or dreaming about the future,
In the world I see, you're stalking out through the damp canyon forest around the ruins of Rockefeller Center.
this savage soap salesman has quite a way with words.
The things you own end up owning you.
Durden is especially loquacious when preaching to his space monkeys.
God damn it, an entire generation pumping gas, waiting tables,
Slaves with white collars. Advertising has us chasing cars and clothes. Working jobs we hate so we can buy shit we don't need.
Frustrated with shallow consumer culture and suffering from feelings of emasculation, Tyler stirs up his followers with a fiery speech, claiming they've been betrayed by society.
We're the middle children of history, man. No purpose or place. We have no great war, no great depression. Our great war is a spiritual war. Our great depression is our lives.
And now it's time to fight back.
We've all been raised on television to believe that one day we'd all be millionaires and movie gods and rock stars, but we won't. We're slowly learning that fact. And we're very, very pissed off.
Number 3, the parole hearing, the Shawshank Redemption. Serving a life sentence for murder, Ellis Boyd Red Redding is a weary soul who spent 40 years behind bars.
Please sit down.
Of course, he's had his shot at freedom. The first time we meet Red, he's trying to convince a parole board he's rehabilitated.
I learned my lesson. I can honestly say that I'm a changed man.
2 rejections and another 20 years later, Red stops telling the board what they want to hear.
That kid's long gone, and this old man is all that's left. I gotta live with that.
Instead, he mourns the young man he once was and finally accepts responsibility for his crime.
Rehabilitated. It's just a bullshit word. So you go on and stamp your form, Sonny, and stop wasting my time. Because to tell you the truth, I don't give a shit.
Number 2, Ezekiel 25:17, Pulp Fiction.
Oh, I'm sorry. Did I break your concentration?
Quentin Tarantino's crazy crime flick is a movie jam-packed with awesome speeches. After all, who can forget Captain Coon's story about the gold watch?
The way your dad looked at it, this watch was your birthright. You'd be damned if any slope's gonna put the greasy yellow hands on his boy's birthright, so he hid it. In one place he knew he could hide something, his ass.
But the most memorable monologue is delivered by the silver screen's coolest hitman, Jules Winfield.
You read the Bible, Brett? Yes. Oh, there's this passage I got memorized. Sort of fits this occasion.
When Jules and his partner Vincent track down a group of hoods who've stolen their boss's briefcase, the assassin goes into full prophet mode and lays down an angry sermon of Old Testament proportions.
The path of the righteous man is beset on all sides by the iniquities of the selfish and the tyranny of evil men.
And of course, that can only end one way.
And I will strike down upon thee with great vengeance and furious anger those who attempt to poison and destroy my brothers. And you will know my name is the Lord when I lay my vengeance upon thee.
Before we unveil our top pick, here are a few honorable mentions.
The inches we need are everywhere around us.
Hell yeah.
They're in every break of the game, every minute, every second.
Let me tell you something. There is no nobility in poverty. I have been a rich man and I have been a poor man, and I choose rich every time.
Do you think I'd know the first thing about how hard your life has been? How you feel, who you are? Because I read Oliver Twist. Does that encapsulate you?
Did you know that the first Matrix was designed to be a perfect human world where none suffered, where everyone would be happy? It was a disaster. No one would accept the program. Entire crops were lost.
No, you, Montgomery Brogan. You had it all and you threw it away, you dumb
I've seen things you people wouldn't believe. Attack ships on fire off the shoulder of Orion.
Number 1, the Barber speech, The Great Dictator.
You must speak. I can't. You must.
It's ironic our top pick is spoken by a silent movie star, but The Great Dictator was actually Charlie Chaplin's first speaking role. And when the little tramp finally opened his mouth, he had a lot to say.
I'm sorry, but I don't want to be an emperor. That's not my business. I don't want to rule or conquer anyone. I should like to help everyone if possible. Jew, Gentile, black man, white.
Playing a Jewish barber mistaken for a mustachioed dictator, Chaplin uses his power to repeal the emperor's fascist laws.
Soldiers, don't give yourselves to brutes. Men who despise you, enslave you, who regiment your lives, tell you what to do, what to think, and what to feel, who drill you, diet you, treat you like cattle, use you as cannon fodder. Don't give yourselves to these unnatural men with machine minds and machine hearts.
Addressing millions over the radio, the barber makes an impassioned plea for love, liberty, and world peace.
Let us fight to free the world, to do away with national barriers, to do away with greed, with hate and intolerance. Let us fight for a world of reason, a world where science and progress will lead to all men's happiness.
Do you agree with our list?
Let us all unite!
What are your favorite movie monologues?
I hid this uncomfortable hunk of metal up my ass 2 years.
For more awesome top 10s published every day, be sure to subscribe to WatchMojo.com.